Is something wrong?
You'd better believe there's something wrong. It's not working.
Are you sure you're doing it right?
Yes, I'm sure I'm doing it right, just like I've been sure the last 50 times I did it.
Can you?
Look, kid. If I knew what was wrong, I'd have fixed it already. Now, just shut up and let me think.
Aahz sank down to sit cross-legged in the center of the pentagram where he began sketching vague patterns in the floor as he mumbled darkly to himself. I wasn't sure if he was trying some alternate incantation or was simply thinking hard, but decided it would be unwise to ask. Instead, I used the time to organize my scrambled thoughts. I still wasn't sure if Aahz was a threat to me or if he was my only possible salvation from a greater threat. I mean, by this time I was pretty sure he was kidding about ripping my heart out, but that's the sort of thing one wants to be very sure of. One thing I had learned for certain, there was more to this magic stuff than floating feathers around.
That's got to be it. That ill-begot son of a wombat.
What's a wombat?
Well, it's a pretty crummy joke. That's all I have to say.
What are you talking about, Aahz?
I'm talking about Garkin. He did this to me. If I thought it would go this far, I would have turned him into a goatfish when I had the chance.
Aahz? I still don't.
I'm sorry, Skeeve. I guess I haven't been very clear.
That's okay. I was just wondering. I wasn't used to having people, much less demons, being nice to me.
You see, the situation is this. Garkin and I have been playing little jokes on each other for some time now. It started one time when we were drinking and he stiffed me with the bill. Well, the next time I summoned him, I brought him in over a lake and he had to do his demon act armpit deep in water. He got even by, well, I won't bore you with details, but we've gotten in the habit of putting each other in awkward or embarrassing situations. It's really very childish, but quite harmless. But this time the old frog kisser's gone too. I mean, it seems to have gotten a little out of hand. Don't you agree?
You still haven't told me what's wrong.
What's wrong is that stinking slimemonger took away my powers. I'm blocked. I can't do a flaming thing unless he removes his stupid prankish spell, and he can't 'cause he's dead. Now do you understand me, flybait?
I made up my mind. Savior or not, I'd rather he went back where he came from. Well, if there was anything I could do.
There is, Skeeve, my boy. All you have to do is fire up the old cauldron or whatever and remove this spell. Then we can each go our separate ways and...
I can't do that.
Okay, kid, I'll stick around until you're on your feet. I mean, what are friends for?
That's not it.
What do you want? Blood? If you're trying to hold me up, I'll...
You don't understand. I can't do it because I can't do it. I don't know how.
That could be a problem. Well, tell you what. Instead of pulling the spell here, what say you just pop me back to my own dimension and I'll get someone there to take it off.
I can't do that either. Remember, I told you I'd never even heard of.
Well, what can you do?
I can levitate objects, well, small objects.
And,
I can light a candle.
light a candle?
Well, almost.
Kid, have you got anything in this dump to drink?
I'll get you some water.
I said something to drink, not something to wash in.
Oh. Yes, sir. What will this do? Will it help you put your powers back?
No. But it might make me feel a little better. Is this the biggest container you've got?
I knew from past experience the brazier was deceptively heavy, but he carried it to the keg as if it were weightless. Not bothering to empty out Garkin's concoction, he filled it to the brim and took a deep draught.
Ah. That's better. Well, kid, it looks like we're stuck with each other. The setup isn't ideal, but it's what we've got. Time to bite the bullet and play the cards we're dealt. You do know what cards are, don't you?
Of course.
Good.
What's a bullet?
Kid. There's a good chance this partnership is going to drive one of us crazy. I would guess it will be me unless you can knock off the dumb questions every other sentence.
But I can't understand half of what you're saying.
Tell you what. Try to save up the questions and ask me all at one time once a day. Okay?
I'll try.
Right. Now here's the situation as I see it. If Istvan is hiring imps for assassins.
What's an imp?
Kid, will you give me a break?
I'm sorry, Aahz. Keep going.
Right. Well, it's happening. I can't remember what I was saying.
Imps.
Oh. Right. Well, if he's hiring imps and arming them with non-spec weapons, it can only mean he's up to his old tricks. Now since I don't have my powers, I can't get out of here to sound the alarm. That's where you come in, kid. Kid.
I'm sorry, Aahz, I don't understand a single thing you've said. I suddenly realized I was about to cry, and turned away hurriedly so he wouldn't see. I sat there, with tears trickling down my cheeks, alternately fighting the urge to wipe them away and wondering why I was concerned over whether or not a demon saw me crying. I don't know how long I stayed that way, but I was brought back to reality by a gentle hand on my shoulder, a cold, gentle hand.
Hey, kid. Don't beat on yourself, it's not your fault if Garkin was tight with his secrets. Nobody expects you to have learned something you were never taught, so there's no reason you should expect it either.
I just feel so stupid, I'm not used to feeling stupid.
You aren't stupid, kid. That much I know. Garkin wouldn't have taken you for an apprentice if you were stupid. If anybody here's stupid, it's me. I got so carried away with the situation, I forgot myself and tried talking to an apprentice as if he were a full-blown magician. Now that's stupid. Heck, kid. Right now you can do more magic than I can.
But you know more.
But I can't use it. You know, kid, that gives me an idea. With old Garkin dead there, you're kind of cut off. What say you sign on as my apprentice for a while? We'll take it from the top with me teaching you as if you were a new student who didn't know a thing. We'll take it step by step from the beginning, what do you say?
In spite of my gloom I felt my spirits lift. Like he said, I'm not stupid. I could recognize a golden opportunity when I saw one. Gee, that sounds great, Aahz.
Then it's a deal.
It's a deal.
What's that? Isn't my word good enough for you?
But you said.
That's right. You're my apprentice now, and I don't go around shaking apprentices' hands.
It occurs to me this alliance might not be all roses and song.
Now as I was saying, here's what we've got to do about the current situation.
But I haven't had any lessons yet.
That's right. Here's your first lesson. When a crisis shapes up, you don't waste energy wishing for information or skills you haven't got. You dig in and handle it as best you can with what you've got. Now shut up while I fill you in on the situation, apprentice. Now, you have a vague idea about other dimensions because I told you about them earlier. You also have first-hand experience that magicians can open passages in the barriers between those dimensions. Well, different magicians use that power in different ways. Some of them, like Garkin, only use it to impress the yokels, summon a demon, visions of other worlds, that kind of shtick. But there are others whose motives are not so pure. Technology in different dimensions has progressed at different rates, as has magic. Some magicians use this to their own advantage. They aren't showmen, they're smugglers, buying and selling technology across the barriers for profit and power. Most of the inventors in any dimension are actually closet magicians. I know what you're thinking, Skeeve. It all sounds a little dishonest and unscrupulous. Actually, they're a fairly ethical bunch. There's a set of unwritten rules called the Smuggler's Code they adhere to pretty closely.
Smuggler's Code?
It's like the Mercenaries' Code, but less violent and more profitable. Anyway, as an example, one item in that code states you cannot bring an invention into a dimension that is too far in advance of that dimension's technology, like bringing guided missiles into a longbow culture or lasers into a flint and powder era. As I've said, most magicians adhere to the code fairly closely, but once in a while a bad one crops up. That brings us to Istvan.
I got a sudden chill at the sound of that name. Maybe there was something different in the way Aahz pronounced it.
Some say Istvan isn't playing with a full deck. I think he's been playing with his wand too much. But whatever the reason, somewhere he's gotten it into his head he wants to rule the dimensions, all of them. He's tried it before, but we got wind of it in time and a bunch of us teamed up to teach him a lesson in manners. As a matter of fact, that's when I first met Garkin there. I thought he had given the thing up after his last drubbing. We even gave him a few souvenirs to be sure he didn't forget. Then this thing pops up. If he's hiring cross-dimension help and arming them with advanced technology weapons, he's probably trying to do it again.
Do what?
I just told you. Take over the dimensions.
I know, but how? I mean, how does what he does in this dimension help him rule the others?
Oh, that. Well, each dimension has a certain amount of power that can be channeled or converted into magic. Different dimensions have different amounts, and each dimension's power is divided up or shared by the magicians of that dimension. If he can succeed in controlling or killing the other magicians in this dimension, he can use its entire magical energy to attack another dimension. If he succeeds in winning there, he has the power from 2 dimensions to attack a third, and so on. As you can see, the longer he keeps his plot moving, the stronger he gets and the harder he'll be to stop.
I understand now.
Good. Then you understand why we've got to stop him.
We? You mean us? You and me?
I know it's not much of a force, kid, but like I said, it's all we've got.
I think I'd like a little of that wine now.
None of that, kid. You're in training now. You're going to need all the practice time you can get if we're going to stop Istvan. Bonkers or not, he's no slouch when it comes to magic.
Aahz. Tell me the truth. Do you think there's a chance you can teach me enough magic that we'll have a chance of stopping him?
Of course, kid. I wouldn't even try if we didn't have a chance. Trust me. I wasn't convinced, and from the sound of his voice, neither was Aahz.